Hi everyone, welcome to Ask a Sex Educator by secretpleasuresboutique.com. I'm Luna Matades. I'm your sex and pleasure educator here to answer some of your questions around sex, sexuality, and pleasure. So I'm answering some of the questions from the secretpleasuresboutique.com blog. If you want your question to be considered for answering from me, go to secretpleasuresboutique.com and scroll to the bottom of the page where you can find the Ask a Sex Educator button and submit your question there. Today we're talking about small penises. And small penises, from our question, is really focused on the impact that a small penis can have on someone feeling self-conscious about their sexual ability and worrying about rejection from potential partners based on the size of their genitals. So it's really, really tough to feel good and confident about our sexual experiences and our own sexiness in a society that feeds us with tons of images and porn and rules about what the sexy or perfect body is supposed to look like. And those rules usually dictate a bunch of physical characteristics that 99% of us can never attain. And so we end up existing, comparing ourselves constantly to this sliver of sexiness. And then we're told all of these different things are attached to certain types of sexy representation in bodies. So, for example, with small penises, we're told that bigger penises are better, that they're more desirable, that they're a sign of masculinity or prowess or sexual competence, and that ultimately the most desirable penis is a big one. This isn't true, much like the most desirable bodies that we see that are socially acceptable are often not the only bodies that we choose to be attracted to. Our diversity of attraction is way bigger than what we're told, and also attraction is way more complicated than just kind of falling for the lust of someone's physical parts. We know that good sex is also about connection through things like sensuality or an exchange of our erotic minds or our many other erogenous zones. So, busting one of the myths that big penises are better is also thinking about what the average size of a penis is. So you may be saying your penis is small because you're not, kind of mimicking the images of hung like a horse, but the average size of a penis is between 5 to 7 inches erect. So some people are a lot smaller than that when they're not erect. Some people are a little bit bigger when they're not erect. There's a diversity of shapes, of sizes, of foreskin, of no foreskin, of coloring, of curves, of ball sizes, of pubes or no pubes. So we know that there's a lot of diversity amongst dicks, as well as there's a lot of diversity amongst vulvas. So we tend to kind of focus on what we've been shown is the most desirable form of genitals. So one thing that you can do is really bust that myth. So think about, what is around your sexiness that doesn't involve your genitals? Are you really playful? Are you sexually adventurous? Are you a really good kisser? Are you very sensual? Are you good at rough sex? Are you a good dirty talker? Do you have a nice smile? Is there a particular technique that you do with your tongue that makes people go crazy? Our sexiness is a bigger delivery than just the genitals that we're offering someone. The second thing is to really think about sex beyond penetration. So we know that a lot of people with vulvas don't necessarily orgasm from intercourse. So penis and vagina is only one part of sex that can bring pleasure to people with vulvas and people with penises. When we think about all of the other erogenous zones that are available, and when we look at research that consistently shows that people with vulvas appreciate things like deep kissing, fingering, and good cunnilingus. So get good with your hands, get good at deep kissing, and get good at eating pussy. Communication is also a really important part of being a good and responsive and communicative lover. Someone who is just doing the techniques that they read about online is not going to be as good as someone who's able to communicate with their partner and ask about how they like to be touched, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what needs to go harder, what needs to go softer, maybe this side of the clitoris versus direct contact with the clitoris. Maybe you like your neck bitten, maybe you like your nipples tugged. Think about all the different ways that we can give pleasure to all of the available portals of pleasure on someone's body. So, not just about their vagina. And then finally, think about sex toys. I mean, sex toys are often seen as competitors, but I actually see them as cooperators. There's nothing that a vibrator, has in competition with my tongue. It's a completely different experience. It's, going to go a lot longer than I can go. And so, think about sex toys not only as a potential for adding extra clitoral stimulation. Maybe your partner can hold a sex toy against her clitoris, or you can hold a sex toy against her clitoris. Or if someone really likes the feeling of a big penis because it makes them feel full or stretched, or they like the depth of it, think about using dildos. Think about using a dildo with your hand. Think about taking in the visual of that and watching your partner's moans and their response to that. You can still connect with them through eye contact or using your hand on the rest of their body. You can also consider anal play. If your partner is open to anal penetration, you can use butt plugs at the same time as vaginal penetration to give that feeling of fullness, of being stuffed. And also consider the amazing sex toys that are out there that are designed to be used during penetration. So the WeVibe Sync is an amazing sex toy that can be used during penetration, and you'll find a link to that in the blog. But think about all the ways that you can get creative and already build on the ways that your partner knows how to stimulate their pleasure, which could be through sex toys, which could be through certain positions, which could also just be co-creating an experience with you. So sex is a skill. Learn some new things, bring to the bedroom something that's more than just the idea of a big penis, and start to feel your own sexiness. Sexually confident people are alluring, they're seductive, their passion is also empathetic. It helps you kind of come to terms with the fact that most people have something about their body that makes them feel a little bit sexually unconfident. So that's our exploration of small versus big penises for this episode, but we'll be answering more questions soon. So go to secretpleasuresboutique.com and scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll find the Ask an Educator button and submit a question there that we'll consider answering. And again, I'm Luna Matatas, your sex and pleasure educator, and I'm so happy to be here to chat with you all about finding more pleasure, more ways to get turned on, and to deepen your intimacy and connection to what feels good for you.